I passed my test. Not only I passed my test with nearly all straight A's on each 5 of the sections. I posted it on my Facebook, and I did really well. I got like an 81, which was on one of the sections, which is still good. And so I have now completed the written CNA exam test. I passed that. I have, in order to get my CNA license, I have to pass also the second part. The second part of it is the clinicals, which is where I go into an exam room with another CNA and there's an evaluator, and basically they tell us to do, I think, 3 skills. And one is indirect talking, the other one is like washing hands and sort of those steps. But there's a lot of steps between that, all the different sections that we got to do in that clinicals exam. So they're going to have like a bed, they're going to have a mannequin, they'll have their catheters and stuff, and they'll say, okay, do this procedure, or they'll say, okay, brush the patient's teeth, or how do you do a foot cleaning, and so on. And so we have to do all of them and complete that. And if I pass this, which was, it's $89 to schedule the test. The written test was $31. The clinicals test is going to be the hardest, without a doubt. Even though I was really nervous about the academics, I know the clinicals is going to be very nerve-wracking and difficult. I'm praying even more so that I can try to hopefully pass this on the first try. You get 3 tries. And I'm having my mother take me on Sunday, which is a blessing, okay? On Sunday, God-given day is Jesus' Sunday, so that I can go to Little Elm, which is past Frisco. It's like a 40-minute drive. My mother's going to take me there, and I have to be there at 9:30 in the morning, and I'm going to take the clinicals exam. So I am letting everybody know what's going on, and you know, everything that I've talked about on my Facebook, all the albums area and everything that I've posted on my Instagram is still happening. It is very heartbreaking still to me to think that I'm going through this type of level of abuse and I'm still striving. And I really credit Jesus and God helping me pivot this, because the hatred that I experience, like when I go to a grocery store, when I go to a gas station, and the unbelievable publicity that's going on is unbelievable, of just hate and despise, that they don't want me to go to school, they're trying to sabotage me. It's nothing but bad vibes. But I always ignore it, and I pray to God, you know, mentally, and I just ask Jesus to help me deal with the emotions and mental distraught as best as I can to be successful and serve God and do what is necessary to humanity, is to love one another, is to care for one another, and to value life, because it's extremely precious. And we most of us don't appreciate life and how precious it is until usually a very bad tragedy happens, or we see it with someone else. But it is a job of compassion. It is a job of empathy. It is a job of understanding the human life experience, and that to give that helping hand to someone that needs it. And this is what is put me in going into the medical field, and hopefully might complete my dream one day to be a licensed vocational nurse. But that is going to be a long road from now. And I know I'm 42 years old, but it's never too old. I've known nurses that have been 50 years old and starting school to become a nurse. So as far as me, what's going on right now, once I complete this CNA clinicals exam, I will have a certified nursing assistant license to work. What I plan to do is September 1st is to enroll in a patient care technician class as well. And that patient care technician class is a certificate, not a license, but I can work anywhere in the United States and not have to worry about transferring the certificate like I do a license on the CNA to work in hospitals. The CNA works primarily in rehabilitation centers and nursing homes, assisted care facilities. But a lot of the hospitals, when you work as a patient care technician, they always require or want someone that has a CNA license. So that's why I'm also getting that. But I plan to get that, and I will make a video and share details of that on Facebook and on my Instagram account. And for those that know, it's all over YouTube. I make videos all the time. And but I want to say that I'm very happy. I feel relieved, but I'm not out of the loop yet. I have still to complete this test. I have a patient care technician I have to complete. And once I have a patient care technician certificate, which is about 6 to 12 weeks, and now that if I do finish this and get the CNA license, I'm going to take probably a break to start working and get the experience I need. And once I get the experience I need working in a hospital, and then I'll do some part-time work at a rehabilitation center for those that are disabled, severely disabled, and people that are bedridden, people probably that have cancer, people that are terminal, all sorts of environments, illnesses, huge range, dementia, and to get that experience actually working in the field for at least 3 to 4 months. And then I'm going to start working on how am I going to get into a licensed vocational nurse program. A licensed vocational nurse program takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months. But there's a lot of steps to even be able to be enrolled into that. In order for me to ever have dreams and be enrolled into a licensed vocational nurse program, I am going to entirely rely on some program, somehow to pay for my school. Right now, I'm in this program that is called Continuing Education, and they have a list of different certificate and licenses you can get. Dental assistant, CNA, PCT, patient care technician, physical therapy, and they're all anywhere. They have a medical assistant even that's just like 10 months. And you get to pick from those, and there's just a small list, and any of those that you get to pick from. So I chose, it's a 7-week program I just completed, and I have to do, I think the patient care technician is supposed to be anywhere from 7 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks, just depending, because they have a couple of different options. One that has EKG and phlebotomy, and one that doesn't. So I have to figure all that out whenever I finish this. But there is one that's starting September 1st. I hope to God that I don't have to wait past September 1st to enroll. But I don't know what options they have, because there's a second option, which is the long option, and I'm just trying to get the patient care technician where I don't have to repeat my class again, a CNA class again. But I will if I have to in order to get the patient care technician. So that is going to keep me very busy, because in order for me to continue to work, and every 2 years I have to renew service, and I have to do like in-service 24 hours of education. So both of them is going to keep me pretty busy. It's going to be about 60 hours every couple of years of extra schooling I have to do online, just to keep retaining my certificate and license to keep working. But I'm looking toward maybe, God willing, because I never know what can happen, if I start September 1st, by January, I'll start working and do some patient care technician, because the class will be ending sometime in the end of December, right before Christmas. and then obviously I'll be taking a break. Then January will start, probably the first week of January around my birthday. I'm going to start applying for part-time jobs as a patient care technician and a CNA. There's lots of hospitals here in Dallas, and I'll figure out there where I'm going to do from then. I don't know whether I'm going to take. I have to get experience in Dallas first before anything I do. I have to get the experience. I have to get work experience. So. But I want to say that for me, it's just going to be such a miracle for me to complete a CNA license, and if I get this patient care technician certificate, which is a little bit longer than the certified nursing assistant, it will probably be the biggest miracle that I've ever had in my life, in my probably entire adulthood, when it comes to any academic learning, any type of learning experience. We learn everything in life, right? But when it comes to any type of education and really pursuing something for myself to better myself and career, and make my life purposeful, and because I think to myself that I was living underneath a bridge for 5 or 6 months in Seattle, Washington. I was living in the streets of Denver, Colorado for 4 or 5 months, just in alleys, warehouses, empty offices, empty parks, parking lots, the back of gas stations, you name it. And I lived every single day like that, with no money other than getting disability. I was sleeping underneath a bridge just a mile away from the house I was supposed to inherit and grew up in. And it was freezing temperature. I had $30, $40 in my pocket, and I was waiting for my own cancer diagnosis to be repeated again while I was crying underneath a bridge alone in the cold. People were spitting at me, throwing trash, walking by early in the morning just to wake me up. I had to sleep at a 120 degree angle because the bridge isn't flat underneath. It was green slime, roaches, snakes, and nobody cared. I have gone through chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant, and was diagnosed with a plastic anemia at the age of 23. And I was very sick for at least a year and a half to 2 years before I found out why I was so tired and why I was just so exhausted all the time. And I nearly died. I had liver failure. The chemotherapy nearly killed me. And it was a very emotional experience for me. It was very heartbreaking because I was very young and I knew my life wasn't ever going to be the same again. And here I am at 42 years old, and I hope to God and I pray that that illness and that tragedy that happened to me and that blessing that happened to keep me alive through the staff and the incredible staff there, I get to use and exercise and use in a career field for myself now, and give some people some sort of hope, some sort of sparkle, this feeling that life, miracles can happen. And I hope that I am successful, and I pray that I'm successful. I don't know what's going to happen, a month from now, 2 months from now. All I can do is try and hope and pray and put the efforts that I can for my best efforts. And it is beyond words that I can describe the hatred that I experienced as a person from so many people. And here I am at clinicals, I'm changing diapers, I'm, cleaning people after they make a mess, have accidents, people that they don't even remember who they are. And I'm giving them compassion, and I'm showing them love, and I'm showing them care. And I hope that for those that get to watch this video, to remember to be kind to people and be nice. This video is not going to be for everyone, obviously, but to remember to be kind to one another as human beings, because you don't ever know what's going to happen to your life if you believe in God or if you don't. But I do believe in God. I believe in Christ. I believe that there is a heaven and that there is a hell. I do believe that there is good and there is bad. And I believe in angels. I believe the significance of that. It's not to say that how much of it I got wrong and right, but that's not really for me to so much decide. But I do believe in God. And I hope, and with this career of hopefully reaching that achievement of goal of a licensed vocational nurse, I will be able to, it's not going to be a long road from now. It's not going to be maybe until the end of 2027 or to early 2028 when I'm probably able to register for a LVN program. But I hope that, I do hope that the blessings of my transplant and everything that I went through in life get shared as an employee at a hospital, as a medical staff attendant. And there's a lot of work. There is a tremendous amount of studying beyond anything that I can even imagine here at the very moment. But I pray every day, pray to God that He protects me, He helps me, and that my prayers get answered. Everything that I've talked about, all the electronic devices and the stalking, it's nonstop. And I'm being as honest as I can. I'm terrified to go to the police, because the police officers are in on a lot of this shit that's happening. And for those that already know, you nearly have to have a lawyer to even be able to speak to them about any kind of problems. When you get on their bad side, your life never meant anything more than trash to these types of people. And, even though that I could be doing a compassion job, I'm doing the better for humanity, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of technological sophistication in this world, and there's a lot of laws and stuff that are being broken all the time. It's hard to get someone involved to realize of the world that I live in, and hard for me to realize that how anybody could have done this to another person, like what they did to me, as long as they did. I was sleeping in Anchorage, Alaska, in freezing temperatures. I'm talking 25 degrees on a daily basis. There were days where the temperatures reached in single-digit temperatures, and I was sleeping in parks next to trash cans for months, for weeks. It was for weeks. But for months prior to that, before it got, even when it was starting to get cold, I was sleeping next to trash cans in parks and behind, recreational, concession stands. And the terror that happened to me, whenever I was in this homeless places, I would go to colleges and I would ask them if they had a GED program. They didn't have any kind of GED program. I would be in Seattle, Washington. They didn't have anything that was going on, and they required money, and I didn't have any money. I didn't get on disability until I was 35 years old. It is hard for me to think how a human being could intentionally send that much hatred toward a person at me with that volume of number of people with hate to despise my life in every way that you can imagine, just to satisfy their own personal needs of emotion that was so disfiguring and nasty. I've had to live with people begging off Craigslist. The list goes on to for about 8 years I was begging on Craigslist. I mean, I would post typing saying, do you have an extra spot where your dog may be sleeping next to the door, just so that I have a couple of days of sleep that I can earn and get. It was one of the most embarrassing and humiliating things for me to experience, as people enjoyed the hatred that they did to me, as I was carrying a 20-pound backpack at all given times, walking up and down the streets looking to use the next toilet safely and not be forced to shit my pants, eat out of trash cans, to take care of hygiene, brush my teeth in bathrooms. If you've ever seen the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, it was a lot like that, but 10 times worse. And I do everything to try to take care of myself. I wasn't allowed to work out anymore. People were trying to fight me constantly physically, and in some cases they did. I got beat up on several occasions for absolutely no reason. I mean, I'm talking somebody I don't even know shows up, beats the shit out of me at a cemetery, attempted murder. I've had people, beat my ass in a fucking warehouse, threatening me that they were going to come after my family, telling me they were going after my sister, telling me they were going to go after this girl that I knew that many years ago, telling me they were going to rape her and they were going to send horrible people toward her, awful things. I've had people poison me at dinner tables, at restaurants, I know it sounds so hard to understand, but more than dozens and dozens of times over the last 12 years, where I wasn't even allowed to sit down at a dinner table at a restaurant because I was hated by not only the staff, by the gay community, but by everyone at that table, everyone in that restaurant. I couldn't even sit down and eat a single meal. They would get food that looked like they pulled out of a trash can and put it on a plate and then serve it to me when I had to pay like $40 for the seafood or something. Anyway, I could tell you so many other stories of things what my life is really like, but hopefully this shares some information. Okay, so hopefully this resonates with some people, and my video will be on YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram. I think Instagram only allows you to post videos that are like 20 minutes at most, I think, at length. So you may have to watch the rest of this video, obviously on a different site, but I hope that this career, I hope that it is a very successful career, a new path for me, and but I can tell you this, I'm going to finish this video with my back. My lower back has been in so much extreme pain that I'm having trouble bending down in order to even sometimes tie my shoes. And I'm getting up early in the morning to take a 2-hour bus trip to get to clinicals, to get to class, studying like crazy, on top of people harassing me at the library at times, here in this resident, that I'm staying at, and I'm trying my best. I don't know, I did not lift anything to injure my back. It is someone that has used some sort of electronic device that is a sensor that then shoots at the physical tissue of my lower back. And I know it sounds as crazy as it is, but it has severely injured me. I had done absolutely zero, nothing to injure my back. And it happened here at this house. And they shot something into my spinal cord so violently so that I have trouble sleeping. I have trouble laying down, where it starts to just ache and I'm in pain, and I have trouble moving, and then when I walk and pivot, I can always sort of feel this ache. And I'm studying and I'm striving to make better my life because I want to be successful. And you know, one of the most terrifying situation of this is the corrupted police officers, and the fact that they don't want to get involved and they won't help. They stay to their position of using that position for a power to not help and protect my life from anyone that wants to harm me intentionally, like they have been with these electronic devices. I don't know what legal rights this could ever be coming from, where it's coming from. It is someone that is placing these electronic devices. I'm not kidding you. I'll get on Facebook, like I posted a Facebook video, shared a few words, and I said that somebody's hacking into my account. All of a sudden I hear the closet. It's like somebody's throwing rocks in it, and it sounds weird, but they'll shoot this frequency device into the fucking walls, and it sounds like somebody's throwing a piece of rock. And they intentionally play this psychological game while I'm inside of my room. They'll start shooting the refrigerator. They're putting fucking roaches all underneath the fridge. I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit. So, anyway, I thought I'd make a video on this. I hope to God that none of my back injury is not permanent, because I'm very terrified of that. That if the police don't want to get involved, and this is happening, what I believe is illegal, just because I don't have any police officers that are willing to help me or give me suggestions, that these people can be harming my tissue like they do when they poison me, when they put bacteria in my food to get me severely sick, to damage my body. And that's because they don't want me traveling, and they don't want me trying to escape their personal imprisonment that they've placed me in. But I try to make the best of my life by going to school and showing compassion. When I get to these job sites, my objective when I get to these job sites is to treat everyone the same, regardless if they're transgender, Chinese, if they're Indian, if they do not worship the same God as me. That is their decision. Whether they're short or tall, I treat everyone the best way that I can at my job assignment as a human being. And I hope to be treated the same, and that's not what's happened. But I hope that this adds some clarity, and I'm going to keep striving for Jesus to protect me and help me. And out there, I will post videos of my success and updates for those that want to pay attention. And here I am, like once again I said earlier, I'm a cancer. I was diagnosed with 1 in a million blood disease called aplastic anemia. Had chemotherapy, steroids, nearly died multiple times at 23, and at 42 years old, here I am choosing a career that I've always wanted to do my whole life, to share that understanding and empathy and compassion, and sacrifice the knowledge and studying to help humanity and have a wonderful career, and make my life more purposeful than any of the careers and other people told me I needed to do or I had to do, or what was going to happen. I know that this is a very God, Jesus driven career of a greater purpose in my life, greater than me. And it's something that I've always dreamed of for many years. I used to talk about it whenever I was having my transplant. Talked about it after. I talked about it when I was in my early 20s before my transplant. And I'm hoping that I live long enough and I'm successful. I'll keep y'all updated. God bless, and keep your prayers. Keep me on your list of prayers.